What's happening, my friends? Paul here with College Center. Excuse the mess behind me. Got a little bit of construction going on. But today, let's do a little bit of stick. Or if you have a training bolo, go ahead and feel free to use one of those. I mean, it's a training bolo. It's not sharp. Won't cut me. If you don't have either of these or you need a new pair of sticks, I got a link down below to where you can order yourself a pair of sticks. Maybe we have some of these in stock. We usually get them back in stock if we're out of stock, so just keep an eye out for them. All right, let's go ahead and get right to the training. Pick your poison, stick or blade. Let me know down in the comments, which do you prefer, stick or blade? So what I really want to do for today's training is basically repeat the last lesson that I did on the knife, because I want to show how Kali is this transference of skill. We can learn a technique or some tactics on the long weapon, on the bolo or the stick, and then we could transfer that exact skill over to the knife. Or we could take a skill from the knife and transfer it over to the bolo or the stick. So when it comes to Kali, we call this a complete system because we can use the information across all categories of martial arts. Edge weapons, impact weapons, long weapons, short weapons, even things like staff, spear, or all the way down to the empty hands. Kali is a weapon system. It is a weapon martial art. So even when we look at our empty hands, our hands become the weapons. But anyways, let's get to our training. So what we worked on, if you missed that last video that I did on the knife, is we worked on some of the thrusts where we came upwards and then backhand, and then our forehand, and then we came down with this slash right here. So we have this center line thrust, we cut this over, backhand thrust, cut this over, forehand thrust, and then we have that recovery slash right there. So let me show you from a couple angles here. Center line thrust, that's going any of the targets up the center line. I know sometimes people in the comments are like, what's the targets? Anything on the center line. It's just the angle of attack, it's not the targeting here. And see how I kind of cut this over? I'm not just flipping it, I'm cutting it. And then backhand thrust goes anywhere along the right side of the body. I'm gonna cut this over again, and then forehand thrust, and then recover slash all the way down. So center line thrust, cut this over, backhand thrust, cut this over, forehand thrust, and then slash back down. Okay? And we're just gonna get some reps here. Just start off nice and slow. All right, towards the end of the video, I'll also do some repetitions. I'll do a little bit of training with the stick, so that way you can see it. But I do like showing with the blade, so that way you can see the actual cutting patterns, the cutting lines and all that. So we have 1, 2, 3, and slash. And if you happen to kind of fall out, maybe you go back into the 1 there, strike 2 to 1. You can do that with the drills. Okay, you can just stay on 2 and 3. Okay, but you can also work on the whole thing, center line, backhand, and forehand. Okay. Now the second drill, we worked on our cuts up on top. So we have our 1 and our 2, which make the big X, and then we also have the vertical that split the X. So 1 and 2, vertical. Strike the X, and then split the X. Now the thing with the long weapon is when we're striking on the slashes here, on the cuts, we want the middle of the weapon to go right through the bridge of our nose. Okay, the bridge of our eyes right there. So we want to make sure when we're looking at the target that we can see the middle of the weapon pass through here. Okay, and what that does is it's going to give us maximum leverage, but this is also the point where we can strike. We have the maximum arc, the maximum range, speed, and power at that point. Okay? And you know you got the leverage to protect your head, because you're actually striking in a way where your body stays behind your weapon. Okay? Now you're gonna see how I'm going to these full chamber positions. Okay? Just like on the knife, when we did this training, I like beginning with the full potential arcs, the full range of motion, so you understand the full strike. Then later on, you can tighten things up. But starting off at that full chamber. All right, once we have the thrusts on the bottom isolated and then the cuts on the top isolated, then we can go ahead and put these two together. So I could thrust one, backhand, forehand, recover, and then cut on top. And then right here, instead of going all the way through, I come back up on that center line thrust. So if you don't have a training bolo, then use your stick. Use the impact weapon. Same thing. 1, 2, 3, recover. 1, 2, vertical. Okay? And then you can gradually pick up the speed, pick up the power, pick up the intensity of the training. And then feel free to play around, kind of free-flowing within these two drills. And you see how I'll start to mix up the strikes a little bit. And turn this into more of a Carenza or Saya type of training. All right, that's it. Super simple. That's my training for the day. That's actually been a lot of my training for the week. But as you can see, just with 2 drills and different areas of Kali, there's actually a lot of information just within these 6 or 7 movements, right? 6 movements, really. So play around with it, have fun with it. And one of the things I like about doing kind of isolation training like this, where you're only using like maybe 1, 2, no more than 3 movement patterns at a time, is it allows you to shut the mind off. So you're not thinking so much in your training, and you can spend more time moving and training and getting the body to understand physically the information and what you're doing. Then as you're working out, you can raise the intensity of your workout, push your body to the limits, push the footwork, push the speed, push the power, maintain control, okay? But then you can really start to train. Like I've mentioned a few times here on the channel, there's a difference between practice and training. Practice is maintaining a particular level of skill or a level of knowledge. Training is when you are pushing a demand on skill growth. But you got to push your body in order for it to grow. You can't be performing the same way all the time and then expect that you're going to be getting better results. You got to push it to grow it. All right, your turn. Go train, have fun. Let me know down in the comments. Again, do you prefer training with the blade or with the stick or you someone like me, you don't really care because training is training and it's great no matter what you're doing. I'll catch you back here next time.